What comes to your mind when you hear I'm a farmer?
Let's have it. Let's have it.
Some people have different schools of thought when they hear that this person is a farmer, this person does farming, this person is into agriculture. There are so many things that come to the mind of young people, which lots of times is always a lie, and that's not the true thing about agriculture or farming in itself. There's so many things that some people don't know about farming, and farming is a very big industry that you should get into right now. Most of the things that you believe about farming is not true, and you need to unlearn those things and then unbelieve those things, so that farming in itself will now do unbelievable things that you don't even expect, and glorious things for you. In this video, I'll be sharing 5 things that you need to remove from your mind about farming, so that farming can be profitable for you. The first lie that some people think when they hear farming, they think about is, number one, you need huge capital. You need lots of money to get into farming, because you'll be buying land. They think about it, they think of it like real estate, those kind of lands that you're buying. They talk about 50 million, 100 million, things like that. That's not true at all. Some people rent their land for even as low as 10,000 naira, 20,000 naira. But that's by the way. You don't need huge amounts of money to get into farming. And in fact, starting small is the smarter way to go, because if you come with huge capital into agriculture, into business, into agribusiness, that can be drastic for you, because you're going to make mistakes as a starter, as somebody who is just learning about agriculture. You're going to make your own mistakes. So it's very important for you to make your mistake on a smaller level than on a higher or on a bigger level. So instead of buying land, you can rent. In fact, you should rent instead of buying land. Instead of starting with 20, or instead of starting with 100 brawlers, you can start with 20, just to learn. Instead of starting with 100 kegs of palm oil and talk about trading, commodity trading, you can start with 50, you can start with 20, just so that you understand the process about it, you understand the profit about it, you understand how to convert these things from inventory into cash. So very important for you to know that you don't need huge amount of money to venture into agriculture, and in fact you should even start small. Some people confuse scaling with starting. You understand? So when you've started and you understand everything about it, you've seen how the profit works, you understand the market cycles and things like that, then you can scale from there. Just don't rush into agriculture thinking that you need huge amount of money. It affected me when I started, because one of my teachers back then used to tell me, when I told him I had a large amount of money, he would tell me, you need this amount of money, you need to have huge amount of money so that you can make a huger profit from it. But that's not the truth. You don't need to have huge amount of money. Your first goal in agriculture is not to make profit, it's to understand the whole processes and then make a little profit out of it. You understand? So when you're not profitable, you understand everything about it, you've seen the prototype, you've seen the MVP of one product, then of one market cycle, then you can now scale out to other large quantities. One of the mistakes that I made is that I started on a huge capital, and most of it were even debts. You understand? So I made my own mistake, and then I had to now find ways to start paying back debts, because that's not how I was going to make my mistake anyways, and you're going to make your own mistake anyway. So you need to start small so that you don't fall short when you make those mistakes. Very important for you that you don't need huge capital to get into agriculture. Second lie that some people have about farming is that it's meant for old people. If you are in this train, please remove that thought from your mind. Farming is not for old people. And if you are still having that thought, then you are way back in the 1960s, and in fact you are the old person. There's many young people who are doing massive things in agriculture. So there's so many people who are coming with different. So there are software developers in agriculture. There are different technological innovators in agriculture. And in fact, this is what the government is even looking for. So young people who have creative minds, because we want to up the game in farming. We want to bring about new technologies into farming. Talking about data collection, data analysis, talk about precision farming, drones and things like that, securities. That's what we're looking for in agriculture now. So farming is not just meant for old people. Don't just sit there and say, oh, I'm not old, my grandpa na in the farm. Now those days, now my grandpa na in get land and things like that. I don't want to go back village. They think about village, old people. That's not how farming is, and we've passed that era. So whether you're a young person and thinking about getting into agriculture, you can start now. You can think about different innovative ways that you can do things, because our parents even made money when they were farming. So you come with new technological innovations, can even up the game and you increase the profits, and then utilize technology to leverage the profits that you're going to make in agriculture. So don't think there's space for anybody who wants to get into agriculture. Do you know that even blockchain is very important in the agricultural sector? Very important for you to know that. So just don't sit down there and and think that agriculture is just for old people and then you're not needed in this space. You are needed in this space. And if you're thinking about getting started in agriculture, I have a free guide that's going to direct you, that's going to guide you on processes that you need to take, important things that you must know about, important ideas that you must have in your brains when getting into agriculture. So go into the comment section and type give me this guide, and then we'll send the link to you. So have that in mind, that agriculture is not just for old people. Young people are venturing into agriculture, they are making money and millions from it. Different people are starting new companies every day to assist farmers, to make logistics easier. They are getting into farming to make data collection easier, talking about fertilizers, precision farming and things like that. So very important for you as a young person. You can venture into agriculture and start making money instead of sitting down there idle looking for a job, waiting for the company to call you when they may not even call you. The third lie that you must get your head out of is that farming is hard and outdated work. Very, very not true. You understand? So many people come with the idea, they think that farming is very hard work. They think about the farmer carrying hoe, going to the cutlass, going to the farm, brushing, harvesting, doing all those things like that. Yes, those things still happen. That's not a lie. I won't tell you a lie about that. Those things still happen. Quite a number of people are still doing all those kind of methods, and it's still happening, right? And that's why we need people like you to even come into farming, so I can bring you the technological ideas that you have to help the farming processes in Nigeria or in Africa, to make the processes in Africa easier and smoother and faster, so I can get much more output for little inputs that we're inputting into agriculture. You know, people are coming with different ideas. When you think about agriculture, think about branding. You know, agriculture now, young people now can sell their produce to people in abroad. There are so many people who are in America, who are in diaspora, so many Nigeria, so many Africans in the diaspora who have farms. You can have a farm in any part of Nigeria. You can have a farm in any part of Kenya. Cassava farms in Nigeria that are not owned by people. It's just almost like a stock. You understand? So many people own different parts of those cassava farms in Nigeria, and they are just in the diaspora. All they do is just to send money, and then they analyze their data and see how their produce is working. So agriculture now is different technological innovations implanted in it. So don't just think that agriculture is outdated and need to work hard. Just you can invest money, and then somebody is doing the work for you. We have machines that are now making work easier and faster, harvesting easier, planting easier. For example, you think about oil mills, see all those people turning all those hydraulic press, all those presses and things like that. But now there are some oil mills that don't even need any human being to run them. There's some oil mills now that everything is just automated. So that's what we're talking about in agriculture, technology. So don't just think about technology, or don't just think that agriculture is outdated and needs hard work. I need to have muscles, I'll be brushing, I'll be farming. All those things are things of the 1960s, and Nigeria, we have all gained it, we've passed that level. So when you are thinking about agriculture, think about technology. Agriculture is now like crypto, and it's even more stable than crypto. The way it's being implanted in the financial systems, or if you're having fintech company, now it's time for us to start having agri-tech companies. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why we need you in all this space. And if you are thinking about getting started in agriculture, make sure you go to the comment section and type give me this guide. It will give you a guide that is going to guide you and direct you on how you can get started on the different models of money making in the agricultural space. Now the fourth lie that you must get your mind out of in agriculture when you think about agriculture is that agro products don't sell fast. Think about cassava. High selling commodity. It's high demand for cassava. You eat gari every day. You don't know where the gari is coming from. Somebody's making millions of naira, of dollars from that cassava gari that you're eating in the restaurant. So you understand what I'm saying? So buy snails, eat chicken, you're eating meat. All these things are agricultural processes that are happening underneath your nose. All you're doing is just eating. So agri products sell very, very fast. And again, it depends on what you're selling. And the problem most times is about the distribution channels, that some people don't know how to even sell their product. They don't know how to distribute it from the sellers to the buyer, from the sellers to the buyers. So you must really understand all these processes, and I talked about that in one of my videos about how you need to understand the distribution and the selling part. So agro commodities sell very, very fast, and they make their money. Look at palm oil, for example. Even the demand for palm oil alone is less, massively less compared to the supply that we're even having. Look at cocoa. Chocolate is something that is demanded all over the world. So many countries are looking now, and people sell cocoa in tons, and we are talking about millions of naira, in tens of millions of naira. You understand what I'm saying? So these things are things that are selling, that are in high demand. Cocoa, cassava, cashew, sesame, they are in high demand. Palm oil. And just don't think that they don't sell very fast. They sell, in fact, so many times you have some agricultural products, and then before you even think about selling them, they are already buyers. And so forget about the thinking that agro products don't sell fast. They sell very, very fast, massively fast. And if you come into this space with the product that you're having, whether pepper, whether cashew, whether cassava, whether melon, or things like that, you have a high chance of converting those products into finished goods. But you must understand the processes so that you don't end up making mistake. Now, the fifth thing that you must remove from your mind completely, you must wash it completely from your mind, is that you cannot do agriculture. Is that you cannot do farming. My brother, my sister, you fit do am and you go do am. So forget about thinking that the fact that you think that you cannot do agriculture, you think that all these things that I've listed above is just true and then agriculture is not for you. Africa needs more farmers, and there's no way that you come into this space and then you not find something to do. So don't think that you cannot do farming or that you're not needed. You're really needed in farming. You're needed in agriculture. And don't think that when I mention farming that you need to carry hoe and go to the bush. You don't have to do that. So many people who have lands of cassava, they have massive hectares of banga farms. So just ensure that you remove that thing from your mind that you cannot do farming. So if you have different things in your mind that you're thinking about agriculture, please remove all those lies and then set your mind that you're going to get into this space and you're going to succeed in this space. If you have that in mind that you're going to succeed in this space, make sure you go to the comment section and type, give me this guide. We're going to send you our agribusiness manual that's going to guide you on how you get started in agriculture, how you succeed in agriculture, the process that you need to know, the mistakes you must avoid as you get started in your agribusiness and your agricultural journey.